Hello guys, this is video stroke analysis of one of our swimmers. Watch all the way until the end so you can find the mistakes that you also do in the water. So the first thing I want to talk about is rotation because it either can make or break your stroke. And in this case, on this video, we can see that when he enters the water, what happens is he's over rotating, right? We can see it here clearly. The perfect rotation for you would be around from 30 to 40 degrees. Now he's rotating over more than 50 degrees. And what happens here is when you're over rotating, your hip will start to sink more, right? Because when you're flat, you have much better buoyancy. That's why we try to take our breath very fast, so we won't spend too much time in the side position. And then the second one, when you try to catch the water, right? When you try to do your underwater stroke, you won't be able to use your lat and chest muscle fully. So your stroke will be less dependent on your body and more dependent on your shoulders, which can cause some injuries in the long run. So the perfect angle would be slightly here. So 30, 40 degrees. All right. So the next one I want to talk about is that his hand is slightly higher than his shoulder. What it does is if you glide like this, first of all, it creates resistance. We can even see that his hand looking slightly upwards. This also creates a lot of drag. But if your hand is higher than your shoulder, it creates resistance. It brings your leg slightly lower than usually. And the other one is it will be much harder to perform a high elbow catch from this position. It will be almost impossible to do. And another one is very important thing here. When he glides, as you can see, his thumb is slightly higher, not slightly, it's higher than his pinky. In this case, if your arm in this position, your elbow will be locked and there's no way you can do a nice high elbow catch. So what we should do instead is we should try to keep our thumb slightly lower than our pinky, right? So because elbow will be higher than your hand and it will be much easier to perform high elbow catch. And if we will clean it here and then we will move forward, you can see that just because of it, his elbow looks straight away to the side and he just pulls with a straight arm. So even if you want to perform high elbow catch, you won't be able to do it just because your elbow are not allowing you to do it. It's not allowing you to do it. So the other thing is I want to talk the trajectory of the arm, how it should go. So when he glides, we can even see slightly that his hand right in front of his head. It's very close to the midline. What we should do instead is we can glide like this, but then when we start doing the catch, we should go wider, okay, and try to catch here. Because the perfect path for your arm when you catch, pull, and push is to go slightly wider than your shoulder width and then just pull straight back. No any side to side movements. All right. So we understand, right? If we go a little bit under, which is I can say that his pull is great. It's amazing. I love this arm. But he has to do it slightly earlier also during the catch phase. About left arm, which is interesting, he enters the water and you can see how his hand straight away goes to his head. So he has this movement, which is not great. It's just unnecessary. We call it a snake movement because your arm going from side to side. Because again, if you can see later, he enters over his headline, but then the arm is still go outside. So it's better to go straight away slightly outside or in the same level with your shoulder just to avoid this unnecessary move. Because your arms with your head is like a steering wheel. If you point this direction, right, your body will go also this direction. We want to go always straight forward. Okay, so the next one is here. We cross the headline, and then when he breathes, he doesn't glide. So you see his arm doesn't stop at all for gliding. He goes straight away to the pool, and again here you can see the arm pulling straight with the he pulls with the straight arm, and then what happens here is yes, he can catch water with his hand, but he's losing a lot of propulsion from his forearm because the water just slips through, which is not great. That's why we need to do high elbow catch every time. So he's not catching water enough. So in this case, his elbow should be somewhere here at the end of this line, and then it can go down. So it will be like more like a vertical arm, vertical hand, forehand, forearm and hand. All right. Then we move next. The other important thing here during the pull, which he doesn't have with his right arm because he's breathing to the right side, it's he bends his hand too much. Yes, it makes your stroke easier to perform, but you're losing a lot of efficiency. There's been a lot of studies that shows if you bring your hand under your body line, you're losing a lot of efficiency. Again, in this case, what he should do is just to keep his arm this direction. Okay? Then in this case, he'll just pull water straight back and he'll be much faster than he is right now. And the other thing, last one I can talk, even you can see here in the close quarters, his pinky is slightly lower than his hand. Okay, we're moving forward. The breathing is nice. I like the breathing. The kicking is fine. And then the very last aspect of this video, which is also very important and not many people know about it, when he finished his stroke, his hand should go right close to his hip. But instead, he goes all the way here, but then he goes outside. And you will see it right now in the video. So he enters and then he goes straight away outside. What happens here is not a big mistake, but just because of this small mistake, what happens is you cannot do a high elbow recovery when your arm is in the air. So your forearm and hand won't be able to relax and recover enough, right? It won't have enough time to relax and recover. So in the long run, if you do long distances, you'll get tired sooner. So again, our goal is to, when we finish our catch, pull, and push, to go right here. Then you can go to the nice high elbow catch. If you want me to review your stroke and help you to fix your technique, show you some key points that you should work on, and give you a set of drills, just go down below in the description and read how you can do it.